around the forehead. These are all the areas where we tend to hold tight. Hold on so tight, so relax it all. Dropping the thoughts around you, just coming into your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Surrendering to this moment. Lengthening your in-breath. We take an in-breath together. Inhale. As you exhale, start to release with a ha sound. Inhale in one more time. Release. This out breath, let it be an audible ha sound. It's coming into the relaxation of this moment. Coming into this idea. Where you can visualize your body sitting here on this chair, supported by the earth. Feeling the gravity holding you. Look at yourself from outside of you. Can you see that beautiful energy body? Can you send it some love? Can you send it some nourishment? Can you send it some warmth? Celebration of an angel amongst us. Can you look at your thoughts and see that you are more than the thoughts? You're not the thought, but you're having a thought.
And you're an observer of that thought. I like to think of this cool white light coming through the top of our heads to our crown chakra, and think of these veins of earthly red light coming up to the earth chakra, and these meeting in our heart center, and they push out and create an energy surrounding us. This is our true essence of being. And if a thought should enter your head or your mind, gently release it by narrowing your thoughts down to just 2 words like in, out, or 1, 2. And I'd like to dedicate this meditation to the empowerment of every goddess within us. Though she may be marginalized in the physical form or has incurred many infractions in the physical world, she is divine in nature and eternal. She is strong. She is powerful. She is all-knowing. And she is love. I dedicate this meditation to inner healing of that inner goddess, of the trueness of the essence of our being, that we go forward in life fully in our power, fully recognizing the divinity within each of us.
Stay here just a moment, breathing into the divinity, the space, and the freedom of this moment. Recognizing and coming back to the physicality of your body. To your heart space. And let a soft smile start to emanate from the corners of your lips like an internal smile, like your organs were smiling, your lung, your heart, everything within you moving with joy in this very moment, here and now. Let that smile get wider in the corners of your lips. With a few blinks, gently open our eyes, the hands to our heart center, bowing to that deep, divine inner Shakti resident within us.
And so it is. Thank you.
So it is.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful job.
Wow. Such a shift. It's so beautiful. Where are we? Where are we? Really, where are we? That was really, did you feel that? Did any of you go through a certain shift? Because you all looked like, I just looked up from, yes? Yeah. Yeah, there's such a sense of settling in this room at this moment, from restlessness to restfulness. Thank you so much for being with us on this journey. As we continue this journey, can I invite you to represent a piece of Bangladesh and show us celebrate us with us the work that you do.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here. It's a great honor for me. And if I start with my journey, it's quite different. I was always fear of the uncertainty, coping up with the uncertainty, and that's what happened with me. I was always busy with engineering, calculations, physics, mathematics, and then out of the voluntary work, that clicked me, despite of having so much possibilities around us, what about the people who don't have so many support, appreciations, and possibilities? That's when I started working in the development sector. From an engineering student who was always engaged with calculations, and that transformation itself is quite challenging. The main challenge for me was to expressing your goals, because I was a very introvert person. How to express your goals and make people understand. And the transformation to an authentic leader, I believe, understanding the weakness and the strength, so that also you can also encourage others. Because when you lead something, there is a constant pressure on yourself, what if I do something wrong, others who believe in me, they will be demotivated. That pressure, that was biggest challenge for me. Managing the priorities, the sudden transformation, sudden pressure of personal, when you are given a responsibility, so many things come on your plate altogether. And how to manage that, that was the biggest challenge for me. I believe how to overcome this, when you have to pick the good in everything from every person. That makes things easier. When so many negativities why, and from an engineering, suddenly in a development sector, my friends, family, everyone used to say, take this as a part-time responsibility, focus in your career. Then my question is, if everyone takes it as a part-time responsibility, who will take that as full-time responsibility? So that thing motivated me. And I believe never give up in your goal. when my father used to say, like, why you were doing this, like, I then make him understand, like, why not? So always try to express your beliefs so that people also, like, believe in you. That's what I believe. And also that make us the journey easier for us. Thank you. That's one.
Thank you so much for the work that you do. You were saying that when we were speaking on the first day, she was saying that her flight was 4 hours late, but because the art that they produce with the marginalized sections and the uplifting women around Bangladesh, the work that they produce, they sell it at the airport. So she used those hours when she was running late to sign contracts at the duty free. So at the Bangladesh airport, if you happen to be in Dhaka next, please make sure you're helping and feeding into the Pratibha streamline. If I could invite and hear from Niketa Malhotra. We want to hear your story, the sari story.
So, thank you so much. I hope everyone can hear me. Thank you so much for having me. Dr. Harveen, thank you for inviting me here. It's a pleasure to be here, and especially to be surrounded by so many women from different backgrounds, from different, who face different challenges. Yeah, I spent the entire day yesterday speaking to many people here, and I understood my own privilege and how easy sometimes we have it, but we don't understand it unless we come to a platform like one line. I call myself an entrepreneur and a sari researcher by profession, a long-distance endurance athlete by passion, a gardener by hobby, and a feminist by heart. For me, the topic of today, which is the CEO's consciousness and the challenge of doing business, especially, and that relates to being authentic and transparent in relationships and in leadership. I think the biggest challenge for CEOs to be authentic is themselves. We, especially women, and yesterday somebody pointed out that we've always been told to be nice. We've always been told to be polite. We've always been told to center everyone else first and then to prioritize yourself next. And for me, in my last 10 years of running a business, so I started with being a social entrepreneur. I had my own startup in an animal sector, in a non-profit animal sector. And then I was in financial payments, and that was with 4 other co-founders from different countries, including 3 men and 1 woman and me. So we were 2 women and 3 men from different nationalities. And then moving on to having my own consulting for the development sector in India, to now most recently to being a sari researcher. And one thing which I have found common across all the themes is the power of my voice, right? One of the things that I have understood is setting healthy boundaries for anybody is the first step to being authentic. And what does setting healthy boundaries mean? I think we've not been taught to set healthy boundaries, which includes just saying no to that extra chapati that you're being offered, saying no to a friend's event that you are being invited to, saying no for yourself to business contracts which do not fit into your values and your principles. And also being able to say no to your own partner sometimes, whether that be going out for a get-together, or whether that be having sex, whether that be involving important decisions. It's about being able to own your decision. It's about being able to own yourself in that decision and taking responsibility for that. I think another part of being a woman is, since we've never been allowed to make a decision, we also don't know how to have accountability for the decision that we have taken. So to be responsible for the decisions that we have been asked, that we want to make for ourselves. And so, when you look up the definition of being authentic on the internet, it basically means being genuine and talking from facts and not fluff, right? So For me, what I have understood is that to be able to be genuine, you have to know what's happening around you. And consciousness means being aware and perceptive of your surroundings. So both of them, when you marry each other, one understands that being authentic comes from a genuine place of being perceptive to somebody else and their situation, of developing empathy. That is something that I think women especially have been taught and conditioned to have, but unfortunately we don't have enough empathy for ourselves, for our own situation. So empathy is one of the most important aspects of being able to have authentic relationships with people around yourself. And that authenticity comes from being able to be honest, being able to receive criticism. Whether you like it or not, you have to learn to listen. You can't just be speaking and, otherwise it's all going to be going out in the void, and you're not going to be able to be that empty cup. There's a saying which, not a saying, there's there's a beautiful story that there's a maestro, and this person wants to go and learn from the maestro. So the maestro says, you need to empty your cup. Your cup is so full that if I put anything into it, it's just going to overflow. And it's not going to benefit you, and it's definitely not going to benefit me. So one of the things that I have learned to be authentic and to have a good relationship with the people who I work with is to empty my cup every time. To be able to receive, to be able to understand, to be able to take in what the other person is saying, because they are speaking from their point of view, their challenges and their background. And so that is another part of being authentic. And of course, the last is to be able to learn, unlearn, and learn again. Right? I mean, you cannot just be saying, I know everything, and, don't tell me what to do when I know what I'm doing. No, most of the times we don't know what we're doing, and we need to hear it from somebody else, because somebody else has, of course, I'm not saying just take in a stranger, random person's advice, but have a trusted circle who you trust for the feedback they give you, because they know the kind of person you are and what challenges you are going through, but they come from a neutral point of view only to help you. I think for me, my biggest critic is my own partner, my husband, and sometimes, it's so hard for me to listen to him, but then I just say, okay, breathe, listen to him, because he's here for you. He's not giving this advice because he wants to pull you down. He's giving you this advice because he's coming from a genuine place of care. And I think as women, we need to accept that love that we get, because we sometimes feel that we are not good enough. So we sometimes are told that we're not good enough to receive love. So I think that trust in yourself is also the most important. And the last, and I'll close with this, that any organization's culture flows from the top. So for me, to be a good leader, what I have learned is that the people who are around me will learn and emulate what I give out, what I show. And so as a leader, that's my biggest lesson, is be the example that you want to be for your team. Thank you. I'll be around for a chat if any of you is interested. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Niketa, for that really beautiful sharing and for your words on authenticity. We really resonated with that, because I think it's a collection of choices we make every day. It's a decision to be authentic, be fearlessly authentic. So thank you for inspiring us on that note. Thank you. I'd like to invite Soumya, Arun. I'd also like to tell you that we're running a little bit, we're fine for time, as long as we stick to our 5 minutes. So, over to you. An entrepreneur and the founder of Akad's HR. Yes, that's what it is.
Hey, hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Soumya. So I'm the founder of Akad's HR. Basically, we are exclusively working for the education sector in India and also UAE. So basically, I live in UAE, and then I have my office in Bangalore as well. So we are building a platform where it can connect educationists and also the academies. So I think by next 2020, that's a bigger way we really want to grow ourselves. That's a very brief note about me and my organization. The topic today is, I think it's been very interesting, and thanks for the invitation which we have received from Women Economic Forum. Completely, there are during my journey of 5 years, how exactly as a CEO and then, you being leading the show, there are 5 major things which I have observed. One is basically for knowing yourself first. Why are you doing? Why is utmost important for any of us or all of us? More than what, why, I think there are a lot of books around it, and then I've read Simon Sinek's as well, start with why. So I think before starting anything or being into a position, you find out yourself that why are you doing, are you true to yourself? So this is all about, being conscious and also authentic about yourself. At times there are situations do come in that, we can take a shortcuts, it's very easy for us to begin. So we really need to see, is it important for us? It's very, very difficult situations at times. We have to be very true to ourselves. That's one of the first and the foremost thing I would like to say. And next is going to be with the employees. So we are a small team, so of course, each one has comes up with their own different background, all that. So we have to be very empathetically, which I think Nikita did mention during our interaction, and whenever we have to engage them, we have to be open, take the feedback, whatever it's been possible. So during these phases of our journey, when we take care of our employees, I think half of the journey is done. So they will definitely take care of the organization and also the customers as such. So the point number 2, I would like to say about the employees. So we have to be very clear and open and being authentic there. So things have not worked, go back and communicate to them, and then this is what has not happened, this is how we really want to grow, take the feedback if they want to see, because at times what happens, we being in the top notch, I think we do not observe certain things. So we have to really ask certain feedback from them and then, go ahead. And next is going to be the customers. Of course, when you take care of your employees, and then I think they will half of the way take care of their customers. So customers is the one thing which, we have to be very, absolutely take the, feedback from them or surveys, that will help us in a very different and a bigger way. And when you might be having a lot of things, but at times what happens is that, the product is good, services are good, but you don't know how the market is going to give the feedback. So you have to have these kind of milestones for ourselves to see how best we can. So that is the point number 3 I would like to say. And the next is vendors. So, we do work with a lot of vendors who comes in. So you have to be authentic with them as well as an organization, as a CEO, paying them on time and then communicating if things have not worked out. So this is my 4th observation, which I really would like to communicate. And the 5th and the last one is, of course, which is the foremost as well, the family. So, your time goes off, you might not be able to give the dedicated time whenever and wherever it is necessary. So we have to be very clear and then communicate to them at times, being transparent. Yes, I couldn't give away my time, all that. And then whatever the problems also you've been facing, I think you have to go ahead and then do, So these are the 5 things I would like to actually communicate, being conscious and also being transparent to yourself and to the team of your organization. So this is from my side. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Soumya, for taking us through your process, because yes, I do believe that consciousness and transparency, like you said, it's an inside job. It all begins right here, and then it springs forth. I'd like to hear from our last speaker this morning, Srilata Vashisht, the founder of HR Learning Solutions. Over to you.
Oh, I love the jingles here. Thank you so much. A happy morning to all my soul sisters from across the boundaries, full of energy. Thank you so much for inviting me here too. Thank you, Dr. Harbeen Arora and all her team, all as well as WEF. Standing here, right in front of you, I come back, to my own stories, where my mom as well as my mom-in-law, both of them belong to the generation where entrepreneurship or leadership was a man's issue. It was never to a woman then. But I've seen stories of theirs where the so-called man fell in a way that he never got up in life. And these 2 women got up never to give up. That's the story from where I come from. Bowing down to them, the 5 main lessons that I learned from them. The first one was, stick to your roots. The deeper your roots, the stronger your roots are. Maybe the sweets come late. Maybe the fruits come late, but still they are much sweeter than what others have. So have patience, have endurance. The second one, be a people-centered leader, yet, I'm joining an and over there, and as well as be driven by results. You need both. You need people without whom the results are not there. You need results without whom people are not there. Both there. The third one, being authentic. Just be yourself. Accept the way you are. And just accept the way others are. It is so simple but very hard to follow. You know, saying is so easy, but doing it is really, really hard. And it's taking time for me, years together to learn to master that. The next one, fourth one, learn to learn. Earn to learn. Yearn to learn. That is what they have taught me. It's okay to be imperfect. That is when you learn. So the next one is learn to fail. The quicker you fail, the more you learn, the more you're experienced. And that's how it should speak. Your actions, your business actually should speak volumes than your words. And the last one that I want to say before I leave for today is that in a world where the entire universe is trying to make you someone else, the biggest accomplishment is to just be yourself. So I'm leaving you all with the quote, there is no force more powerful than a woman determined to rise. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Srilata, for leaving us with those resounding words. I invite Dr. Harbeen Arora to felicitate this beautiful set of ladies.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that, Srilata, it was such a fitting finale to this whole session, which is about consciousness. And please be seated. We've always said yearn to learn. We've grown up with that you should have a yearning for learning, lifelong learning. We heard that in the first session this morning also. Keep upgrading your skills. But what you gave very new this time, which I'm carrying personally with me home, is that earn to learn.
Yes.
Wasn't that beautiful? We've always said learn to earn, like learn this so that you can become this, so that you become employed, so you learn to earn, but we've never looked at the other way around, earn to learn. So consciousness, grow, a frequency of money, take it to consciousness to currency, and then currency back to consciousness, and keep that loop moving. So thank you all. That was beautiful.
Calling on Susan Nicholas to accept this honor as an exceptional woman of excellence at the Women Economic Forum in Gurugram 2019. Maisha Lubaba, coming from Bangladesh, honoring you as an exceptional woman of excellence. Soumya Arun, please accept this honor on behalf of the All Ladies League and the Women Economic Forum. Niketa Malhotra, we congratulate you for this honor at the Women Economic Forum 2019. Sri Lata Vashisht, you are indeed an exceptional woman of excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for these absolutely inspiring women. I have a question for you in the audience. What keeps you awake at night?